So perfect. So we've got about 15 attendees, Christine, and we're going to provide some information on Facebook. This is Facebook 101. Everybody should be reminded that we are going to do Facebook 2.0 on Thursday. You're probably all quite familiar with Christine. She's amazing at all of these social platforms. She's running the PPE Medicine Hat site. She's been behind the scenes on everything related to COVID with regard to Facebook and other platforms. And I'm so happy to have her here today to help us all sort of even with the basics of Facebook. So this is Facebook 101. I'm really looking forward to learning some new tips, Christine, and I'm just going to let you take it away.
Sure. Thanks, Sandra, and thanks everyone for joining today. Again, my name's Christine Russell. For the last almost 2.5 years, I've been working with Tag Concepts as our team's digital media strategist. I work closely with our clients to create strategies for their social media communications, provide one-on-one training and analytics analysis for our monthly contract clients. On top of that, I'm also responsible for some of our website builds, mostly on the e-commerce side. So today I'm going to be talking to you about Facebook and the benefits of Facebook. So I'm just going to share my screen right now. Let's see how this works. And there's my face still. I'm just going to move this so I can see a little bit. Okay. So here we go. And now I'm getting why am I getting oh, there we go. Okay, so again, we have done, Rachel was on last week and Dee's been on before. I work for Tag Concepts, and Tag Concepts is a marketing agency in Medicine Hat that likes to go beyond the brand with our clients. So what is Facebook? Facebook started as a social media tool for college students to connect. We think this is an extremely important item to note when we are discussing Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg is still focused on trying to create opportunities for people to connect, although at the same time he is interested in making billions of dollars as well. But his interest in connections is why the good old algorithm you hear about is so important. He doesn't make connections easy. Otherwise, your Facebook feed would just become a spam feed. He makes us have to work for those views, likes, and today I want to help teach you how you can earn your following by being authentic, engaged, and thoughtful with your social. He looks like he hasn't aged either. Still looks like a baby. So what we want to do today is help give you a better understanding of this platform, show you how to set up your Facebook page properly. So this is my personal page. Facebook can be accessed by a large range of desktops, tablets, smartphones, and even Blackberries. But does anyone ever even use that technology anymore aside from Chris Hellman? Our internet and mobile networks. When a user registers on the site, they can then create a user profile that indicates their name, occupation, date of birth, etc. You can then add your friends, and I put friends in quotations because some friends you just meet and you'll never meet again in person. You just meet them online, or you went to school with them, you haven't seen them in 35 years. You can exchange messages, create personal posts, add photos, engage with videos, and many more things. You can be social on your personal profile, and you can share your business information through that profile too. But you should have a business page for your on Facebook for your business. You have the opportunity to use Facebook pages as a tool to promote your products and services on a more local level. The key to utilize the platform is to utilize the platform in the most effective way by spending some time on it and learning the ins and outs. So I'm going to ask a question. The first question is, who has a personal Facebook profile? If you guys want to answer there, that will give me kind of a good idea of what level user you are on Facebook.
Everyone has a personal Facebook page.
Okay, perfect. That's really, really helpful. Because even just having some basic knowledge on how Facebook works in general is going to help you with your business Facebook page. So then the next question, who has a business Facebook profile? Okay.
So there you go, Christine. 75% say yes, and about 25 say no.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go through that a little bit, and I can answer any questions for those who don't have a Facebook page on the mechanics of starting it if they need help at the end. So we can talk about that later. It must be noted that you will only receive benefit from social media if you take the time to understand the platforms and provide yourself the time slot within your day to engage on those platforms. Social media is a free tool, but it's not a magic tool. It takes time and effort to build a following and create engagement. So there's Trevor. He has pants on here, but he's the magic expert. So with Facebook, you do need to put the time into it to make it work. Next up. So what are the goals of Facebook? Number one, Facebook will provide an opportunity to enhance your brand in the local and surrounding community to ultimately further the scope of business in those areas. It also will increase engagement with authentic interaction. It will provide your business the opportunity to create relationships within your community by providing ways to engage professionally to build rapport with fellow businesses as well as the general public. The probably the most important goal that anybody that has a business will agree with is that it's to drive as much traffic to your website or direct calls as possible by providing a call to action in most of your social media posts. By doing so, you will provide your audience a reason to visit your site. You'll make them want to see more and ultimately make a purchase or book an appointment with you. So we've talked about Doris before in the last couple webinars that we've done. So Doris is the person that you would want to connect with your business. So remember, she wants to get to know you, and you should want to get to know her too. Don't just sell to her because she won't like that. So that brings us to what to post, when to post, and how many times you should post. Well, authentic is the key. You may have heard us talk about Doris in previous presentations, and he or she truly rings true here. By finding your audience, you can speak to them in a way that you would speak to your family and friends. Not always posting about what you have to sell or the services you provide will also help increase engagement on all your posts. It's the 80-20 golden rule. So 80% should be that authentic engagement type posts, and then the 20% would be sort of that direct selling post, and not in a salesy way. There's definitely a way to post that doesn't come across selly or salesy, and with still having that authenticity in those posts. So here's an example. Here's Dee with one of her authentic videos that she's been doing, especially during this COVID time. It's been really important for us as an agency to connect with our following and our clients, and video is a great way to do that. But I'll give you an example of another post, or another industry, let's just say, for example, selling poop, literally. Let's say you own a company that makes manure for fertilizer. You know all the benefits of how great your products are for gardens, but you also know how gross your product actually is. By mixing up your posts to have both lighthearted and funny, as well as the nitty-gritty on the benefits of your product, will keep your audience engaged. Maybe one day you post a video of your product being bagged for distribution with the caption, "Have you ever seen so much poop in your life?" or "Poop is life." The next post then could be a professional product shot of your bagged fertilizer with a more professional caption, "We even make poop look good," followed by the content breakdown and benefits of your fertilizer, as well as information on how to purchase. If you have a website, you'll include this information on your post. So we always want to consider when we're posting, the frequency, how those posts are doing and what kind of engagement they're getting. Frequency and time of day or days of the week all depend on your capacity to manage your social media. But we suggest to our clients a minimum of twice per week, ideally 3. These posts can be mixed in with Facebook story posts, and on Thursday we'll be diving deeper into that. Thinking about your audience and who would be buying your poop is important. Farmers are typically up at the crack of dawn, and they may be checking their Facebook prior to heading into the field. You have a chance to be visible at that time if you consider when your Doris is looking, and that helps you build your organic engagement. Facebook, like all platforms, is not a platform that you only want to put in 50%. The more consistent you are, the more likely you are to create an authentic engagement with your audience. Not to mention, the more Facebook will recognize you as an authentic, active user and will share your poop content more frequently. Facebook also offers a very comprehensive analytics tool which will help tell you the time of day, days of week your users are most active. But the most important way to gauge your content is that the higher reach plus and higher engagement equal a quality post. Speaking of engagement, how can you create engagement on other feeds with your page? And how can you do this in a manner that makes sense? Well, with our manure example, a way that we could do this is by engaging on greenhouse posts, where perhaps you have your product sold or you're looking at having your product sold there. You can like some of their content and share, or if you know they are doing something that promotes your product, thank them for doing so as your page. This can build value. And what should you do about your current Facebook feed? Well, the number one thing is to make sure your profile is complete. So there is an app that can be used, and it's called the Pages app, and you can download it on the App Store or Google Play Store, whatever sort of device that you use. You can also access your pages on a desktop from your personal profile. So, and if there is, this will be something that's a little bit more of the starting point for people. So those people that don't have Facebook pages at this point, I am willing to offer some help to them should they run into troubles. There are a lot of videos you look up on Facebook's help center too, of walking through how to set up a page. But again, I can offer my help to those who just need that sort of starting point for this. So, so this is an example of Tag's Facebook page on the Pages app. One of the most important things that you're going to want to do is make sure that your banner, slideshow images, and profile photo are up to date. So the banner image is the one with the t-shirts. As you can see, there's multiple there just by the dots just below that t-shirt. And that's a great way to be able to mix up what your banner page looks like. Make sure you can add, if you have a campaign running or promotions running, it's a great way to put it in there. If you have products that you have them individual, then you have the first page, and then you can slide across, and then there'll be multiple images of your products even on right when people land on your page. And the key here is to make sure that these images are sized appropriately for both desktop and mobile. Facebook has so many great added features that using them all is really your best interest. When choosing a profile photo for your business, we suggest using your icon logo and ensuring nothing is cut off. When choosing your banner slideshow images, we suggest again, using photos that highlight your product and or your people. And again, should be designed to be responsive. So meaning that they can be viewed fully on a mobile device as well as on a desktop. The more information you can offer about your products or services will keep your audience's attention, engagement, and support. You also have the opportunity to upload more than one image, again, like you'll see the dots there, and have a slideshow. This can add value as it could show the inside of your space, some of your team, or perhaps some of your products. So the second thing that I always suggest to complete is to make sure that you update your story or about us section on your Facebook page. When you're setting up your page, it's probably easiest to do from a desktop because you can see more of the capabilities and things that can be completed on the desktop as opposed to on the Pages app. This is an example of a tool that will help catch your audience's attention, what you do, how you do it, and what makes you different. Here's where we also suggest to position your information in a way that people want to read. Tell your story to your Doris about your best damn banana bread. The next thing to do also is then to complete your location. You can find that in the About section. You'll see it's slightly highlighted on the left-hand side there. Typically what I do is you just make sure you go through each one of those, the home, the post, the about, the reviews, the photos, the videos, community, all of that sort of stuff. Just make sure there's nothing that is left incomplete. Some of those are just features. So the jobs feature is if you wanted to post a position for your company, it can be done on Facebook as well. If you wanted to create events is something that we will talk about on Thursday as well. But completing your location, hours of operation, website link, and then also include your username. The username is a great way to create sort of a short form name for people to search, number one, on Facebook, but also if you're an Instagram user, or planning to start, it's great to have your usernames the same, which gives you some brand recognition between the two platforms. They are connected. Facebook now owns Instagram. However, some of their features are really, really different, but this is a great way for there to be that brand recognition connection between Instagram and Facebook. Okay. And then there is also under the settings, you'll see at the very top, settings is underlined there. This allows you to choose a template, which will ensure you, and then you'll want to make sure that you're using the one that works best for your business. So there's a services template. I believe there's a community support template. There's a number of different templates that can be used. So just go through them and make sure that you're choosing the right one that you offer. So if you offer an online store, I believe that there is an e-commerce one as well. And then when you choose your template, you can also hide some of the elements that won't be applicable to you. Instagram account linking is where you'll do this as well. If you have an Instagram account, link your accounts. This will help you with stories, which we will talk about during Facebook 2.0 on Thursday. Page roles is another section that you will want to complete. If you have other team members who will be helping manage this account, this is where you will add them. There are different permission levels, so just be sure to choose the most appropriate level for your team. Message settings. This is another great tool that you can customize to your business. If you receive a direct message, the automated reply can be customized to let those who are messaging you a time frame of when you can respond. For instance, we are up to our knees in poop, but someone will respond to you within 24 hours. If this is an emergency, please call ... So here are some solid tips and tricks to help you gain followers and earn higher engagement on your page. Growing your page following. Invite friends and ask your friends and family to do the same. You can grow your page's following a lot quicker by inviting those who already know you, like you, and trust you. Some people are hesitant upon this, but coming from doing this from a personal standpoint for my own business, if your family and friends don't want to like your page, they don't have to like your page. It doesn't hurt to ask. You can also razz them if they don't like your page a little bit here and there. But again, if you are posting in an authentic voice and it's not spammy or salesy, then there would be no reason why they wouldn't actually want to follow your page, really, because you're not spamming them with, okay, buy my product now or book an appointment with me now. If you can position your feed and your profile in a way that is authentic and is showing some of the behind the scenes stuff, then if they don't follow, they're the ones that are missing out, in my opinion. Another way to grow your following and increase engagement on your feed is by boosting posts. So I think if some of you guys have seen on your feeds, on your business page, that Facebook will give you a little prompt and say that boost your post now. This post is performing 95% better than your other posts. That's kind of their line, their fishing line to you to get you to boost those posts. But here are some tricks on that. You want to be cautious on how generous you are for boosting. We ran an accidental test one time, and came to realize that the pages that are quick to boost earn less organic followers than the pages that rarely boost. Facebook is watching your habits. If they know you're likely to throw money at them, they'll likely make it easy for them to have you throw money at them. So we suggest boosting posts after they've earned some organic reach. Sometimes we may boost posts that were popular from a month ago if the content is still relevant, as we know this is content that people showed a liking to. So I wouldn't post and then boost a post initially right after I posted it. Sometimes we give it about a week to see how it does. And then if it is performing quite well, or the content is relevant and is something that we want to look at boosting, we'll go back into that post before we boost and make some minor adjustments here and there. If the text is really long, sometimes it's also important to shorten that text and maybe change the way the call to action is positioned, and then throw some money at it to boost. The other thing as well is with some of those boosted posts, you do have a text limit. So Facebook will tell you, okay, your text is too long. And then you'll want to sort of change that around a little bit. Typically those posts, I would think from an analysis standpoint, those posts that are garnering high engagement is based on the photo that you're using. So Facebook isn't a huge visual platform, but that will take me to my next sort of point, is that sharing a photo with every post are the ones that seem to gain better traction. They catch the eye of your viewers when those posts are on their news feed. Second to that, making sure your post captions are spread out in an easy to read paragraph, so to speak, will also be more visually appealing to those who are scrolling through their news feeds on Facebook. So splitting up the caption into shorter paragraphs, not clumping it all together, will provide the reader the ability to pull out most of the valuable information. Capitalizing certain words, inserting emojis will also bring out your post on their news feed. Another way to gain some engagement is sharing. Sharing is caring, and sharing other relevant content on your page from trusted sources, community members, can help increase your engagement. But how you share is important. So don't just share a post from another page just share it. You'll want to create a caption above that explaining why you feel from your business standpoint that this post is relevant. That's another one too, that you want to be cautious on how much you're sharing, because you don't want to be over posting. So for instance, again, going back to you own that fertilizer company and you want to share a post that maybe a local greenhouse posted or a local farmer posted or or another industry partner posted. Just make sure you're putting in there why that's sort of relevant to your business. Another thing too, hashtags aren't necessarily engagement triggering, like for instance on Instagram, but hashtags, we found hashtags, using hashtags on Facebook help sort of tell the story of what you're talking about. They can also add some humor to that. So on the manure post, you could put hashtag we love poop, or hashtag Sandra, I'm sorry. I figured I'd have people listening if I talked about poop the entire time I've been on here, but hashtag don't forget to flush. Just things like that people are going to read, and they're going to laugh, and they're going to remember your post. And it could be from a simple hashtag that they've remembered your post. So when it comes to being authentic, think of your Facebook page or any social media platform that you use like this. Position your posts, videos, and photos in a way that makes your customer feel like, number one, they already know you as the business owner. And number two, they already feel like they've been in your place of business. I've used this a lot with some of our clients, especially those that have brick and mortar locations, and showing people where you are, whether that's a video of the street view, or a time-lapse video of walking down the street, or walking into the store, or doing a tour of your store, or videos, you using videos of you, like Dee has with Tag, will definitely, it will let your followers think that they already know you. I think we've learned that in the other group, one of the other groups that is being run right now, called YXH Business Support, where we've had guest speakers come on in the morning, and people are joining with their coffee every single morning at 7:30, and we've had some reoccurring presenters on there, and you truly do feel like you've gotten to know who those individuals are personally and not even met them before. So it will work in a way for customers, but it'll also work in a way for referrers of your business, or your neighbors where your location is, and things like that. So I mean, I think authentic is really, really, truly the way to be when you're utilizing your Facebook page, and just finding that balance, I think too, is a great way to be able to just to show the behind the scenes piece of it, and then to be able to also still get across that you are trying to sell a product or a service. And I think that's kind of all I've got to cover. Here's a couple, again, thoughtful and communications produce the greatest results. And then take your time in starting. Planning out your posts is another great way to sort of keep you on track. We recommend to some of our clients that manage their accounts on their own to create a Google spreadsheet or a calendar of the days that they're going to post, even creating the posts, having the photos already pre-planned and saved. And then that way you sort of know where your balance is of that 80-20. Yeah, and I think that's going to be a great starting point for a lot of people, just to plan it out. I think it is quite intimidating at times when you're starting, and you want to make sure that you're posting the right things, and you still want to sell your product or service. But again, being authentic, finding your Doris, and then letting them know that you make the best damn banana bread out there. People will be really receptive to that.
So Dee's been really good about answering some of your questions, but one of the newest ones is, can you schedule posts on a Facebook page like you can in a group?
Yes, 100%. So you can, it used to be you could just do it from Facebook pages, but I do believe now it kicks you to Business Manager, which You'll just have to make sure that you get into Business Manager to schedule that post. But yes, 100%. So you could actually pre-plan your whole week's worth of posts and schedule them in there. Facebook is also recently launched, and I believe they're still beta testing quite a few of the features of that. It's called Creator Studio, and you can look it up. And it's an extension of Facebook. And you can post actually to both Facebook and Instagram on there and schedule posts on Instagram. I'm a little weary about pushing people over there right now, only because they've had some hiccups still and they're not 100% in their delivery of that platform just yet. But it is something that you could definitely check into to see if you wanted to test out a few posts on there for both Instagram and Facebook, or just Facebook. You could run it through there as well. Videos can be scheduled, posts can be scheduled, and then yes, and then you would have to do the engagement from your own end.
So why do we want to change our posts from platform to platform? It's so much easier to just make one and then,
It is, yes, but there are different triggers on different platforms, right? So for instance, Instagram is an extremely visual platform, and typically the captions are a lot smaller. You can't put links in those captions. So if you were to make a post on Facebook that had the link to your website, you wouldn't want to use that exact caption on Instagram because you can't click the link on that post.
Okay.
So in those cases, you could say shop our products online through our link in our bio, because you can put that right in your bio on your main feed. The other thing too is on Instagram, hashtags are more widely used to increase engagement. So you could still use those funny hashtags if you wanted to, but you'd also want to find hashtags that people in your industry are using. So fertilizer, if we're talking back to the manure fertilizer company.
Why would we move away from poop?
I don't know. Facebook 2.0, I did move away, just in case anybody was a little set off by the poop discussion. So that way you are utilizing those hashtags to gain engagement. Now, the one thing we do recommend, or we always are weary of as well on platforms like Instagram, I know this is an Instagram talk, but I know there are a lot of users that also use Instagram, is that using some hashtags on there aren't going to benefit your business at all, because they are some of them are bot driven, unfortunately. And Facebook and Instagram have tried to curb that a bit, but there always seems to be those ones that pop up. And they're also not typically a lot of local users when you're using a wide range of hashtags. So you may be getting engagement from people that live on the other side of the world, which is great, because now you're getting higher engagement on your posts. They're more likely to show up in the explore feed on Instagram, but that the same doesn't really work for Facebook. So I would say to just use hashtags on Facebook that are relevant to what you're posting, with maybe a side of humor. And then again, on Facebook, hashtags less is definitely more.
How do you know which hashtags are right for your industry? Is there like a place you can search them up, or do you just?
There are a couple apps. I don't know if I really like. There's some hashtag generator apps that came out. To me, I'm not sure that they are great. But I would say even when you're kind of perusing, now we're talking Instagram, right? Because Facebook would be more, I would say you'd be using those, whether you had a tagline, up to our knees in poop is the tagline for the manure company. And you just use that on all of your posts, because that's sort of your branding in a way. On Instagram though, when you're using those hashtags and creating extra hashtags to try and generate that engagement, really just kind of checking the market and seeing what other like businesses of yours are using for hashtags, what might help.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that hashtags I knew they were a thing, but I thought they were more of a Twitter thing. And so
Yeah.
when I went into Facebook, and actually after we started using the specific ones for YXH, YXH together, those types of things, and I clicked on them, like it brings up all the
All the
posts
posts.
that
Yeah.
have all of those hashtags on them. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah. So that's why using, like when you have one that's specific, for your brand, like Upturnies and Poop, if you use that on every single one of your posts, then, or Shop Local is another one that always kind of really pops up a number of feeds. And Facebook will also, those Shop Local posts will also be generated by not your IP address, but where your location is on your feed. So that's why you want to fill out your Facebook page as much as possible, with your location, address, everything, because those are the kind of things that Facebook's going to see and say, oh, somebody looked up Shop Local and they live in Medicine Hat. Well, we're going to show these posts because they've got all Shop Local and they're in Medicine Hat.
Well, you sort of glossed over the personal pages because I know we're talking business, but should we also update our personal pages, like with our bios and where we work and stuff like that? Like, will that mesh? Like, does it?
Not on Facebook. It's not like LinkedIn in that way. Now the other thing too is that some people want to keep their personal pages separate from their business in the way of not knowing that there's that connection. So you're not having customers message you personally when it should be for your business. So that's totally up to you how you do that. If you list your employer, so for instance, on my page, it says Tag Concepts, and you can click that. So now people that see my page could go to your business. So, I mean, there is a benefit there. From the business side, though, you're not going to see, the only thing you're going to see is somebody looked, I believe, up Tag Concepts. They would see Christine Russell and probably Dana Haysom, Rachel Krupach listed as people that work at Tag Concepts.
Okay.
So I guess it depends on what level, as long as if you want to keep your privacy set quite high, if you own your business and you don't want people messaging you, you can set those privacies so that people can't contact you from a personal page. They would have to go to your business page to contact you.
Okay. We have a question here. Is there a cost for Creator Studio?
No, it's free. But again, I am going to just forewarn you slightly that it's still in some of the beta testing modes for quite a few of the features, and it seems to kick off and be and glitchy sometimes. Like it'll say Instagram posts we're running into some difficulties. So it is there. It's not quite 100%. But you're more than welcome to check it out to see if it works for you. The other option is if you're just running a Facebook page, just post and schedule from Facebook directly, and then you'll know that your posts do go up.
Perfect. A little while ago, Benjamin asked about negative comments, and Dee did a really good job of answering it. What's your take? I have one suggestion. I don't know if it actually works. It's anecdotal, and it's sort of worked for me. Is what I find is if the first comment on your post is positive, then other people tend to be positive. I don't know if that's actually a thing, or if it's just my imagination, or if that's what I put out to the universe because that's what I want. But what's your take on negative posts?
Well, I definitely, and we've said this before, we do not suggest deleting those negative comments. That can cause much more of a backlash than what you want, I think, because then people will go to other platforms like Google reviews, and then again, just the word of mouth of people being upset. Obviously, not always is the negative comment relevant, but responding to the negative comment is very, very appropriate. Whether that's if it is an issue that happened, even apologizing and saying we'd be more than happy to resolve this for you. Please send us a message. And just the way that you redirect those comments is very, very important.
Great, that's a great answer. Oh, we've got 2 new messages down at the bottom. Let me just see what they are. Oh, just people saying thank you and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like we don't have any more questions.
Okay. I'm stuck. I was trying to get to the questions too, so I could see who they were.
That's okay. I think I can save this and send it to you off the recording.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'll try that this afternoon. It'll be my first time doing that, and I'll also upload the webinar to the Apex Alberta YouTube page, and then you guys can access it from there and watch it, and I'll share it out on my platforms.
So on Thursday, I'll be back again, same time. It might be a little bit longer. We'll see. I don't think I talked too fast. But we'll talk about stories, Facebook events, Facebook groups, and Facebook Lives a little bit more in detail. If anybody has questions before the next session, I don't want to overwhelm anybody going into the next session, but you can send me an email if you'd like, and I can try and help answer a few of those questions before we start the next session. And my email is christine@tagconcepts.ca, and I should have or you can message us on the TAG Facebook page, and we could also respond that way.
Perfect. And yeah, and they can also ask in the chat next time we're up on Thursday, and
perfect, yeah.
We can answer the same way. So that's really great. Thank you, Christine. That was spectacular. Thanks, Dee, for all your help answering all of the questions in the chat. And I'm really looking forward to 2.0. This was great, and looking forward to learning a little bit more.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out. That was awesome.
Okay, take care.